Sri Guru Sri Juta Pada Kamalam Hare Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Sri Visakhanitam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama
Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Punya Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yasodhanandana Brajajana Randana Yasodhanandana Brajajana Randana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Punya Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Punya Bihari Jaya Mahamangsa Paribhajaraacharya Sthakaraya Smadhave Namo Saraswati Goswami Jaya Canto Gauri Vaishnava Jaya Ramacharya Sri Haridas Thakur Jaya Name Sutta Hosi Krishna Shri Radha Krishna Bhogavna Sam Kanda Radha Kanda Jaya Vrindavan Dham Ki Jaya Navadvip Dham Ki Jaya Ganga Mai Ki Jaya Jamuna Mai Ki Jaya Guru Dwarka Dham Ki Jaya Swami Bhaktivinoda Ki Jaya All glories to the All glories to the Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna and Pranam to devotees. So welcome to our daily Srimad Bhagavatam reading sessions. So let me share the quiz results for yesterday. Okay. So we are 12 members and 8 members have attended the quiz. There was one mistake in the quiz today, that there was one question to which the answer is true, but it is marked as false as right answer. So the answer is true. So those who have got 80%, mostly they would be 100. So let us see the score. Okay. So Atul Prabhu, all correct. Vinod Rundal Prabhu, all correct. Anupam Mataji, all correct. Jeet Mataji, all correct. Pinky Mataji also all correct. Then Sandeep Vashish Prabhu, one wrong. Anshi Mataji, one wrong. Jeet Mataji, Mataji with action. So we are waiting for Giriraj to join. In the meanwhile, we'll do Mangalacharan. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatadeshatarine ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवं च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साधवेतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधाकांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विश्वभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यश्च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम। तो let's wait for one or two more minutes and we can start. So we can start. I think Prabhuji will take some time to join. एवं नृपाणां क्षितिभारं जन्मनाम् अक्षौहिणीभिः परिवृत्ततेजसाम् एवं नृपाणां क्षितिभारजन्मनाम् अक्षौहिणीभिः परिवृत्ततेजसाम् विधाय वैरं श्वासनो यथानलं मिथो वधेनो भरतो निरायुधा। Translation and purport of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. The Lord was pacified after killing those kings who were burdensome to the earth. They were puffed up with their military strength, their horses, elephants, chariots, infantry, etc. He himself was not a party in the fight. He simply created hostility between the powerful administrators, and then they fought amongst themselves. He was like the wind which causes friction between bamboo and shows spark of fire. तो अभी तक हमने पढ़ा कि जो भगवान हैं उनकी द्वारका धाम वापस आ जाते हैं हस्तिनापुर से एंड ऑल द द्वारकावासीज दे वेलकम भगवान और उनके लिए बहुत अच्छे प्रेजेंट्स लेके आते हैं। तो वहाँ की जो माता जीज होती हैं सो दे ऑल कम एंड दे वेलकम विद स्पेशल गिफ्ट्स भगवान के लिए लाते हैं। एंड ऑल्सो अब भगवान की एंट्री उनके पैलेस में भी हो जाती है। हिज वाइफ्स 16,108 वाइफ्स they all want to embrace the Lord, they all want to meet the Lord, but they are very shy, so they send their sons to embrace the Lord. And similarly और उसके बाद still the glorification of the Lord is going on with those जो है ये glorification Sud Goswami is reciting. As stated above, The living beings are not factual enjoyers of things which are manifested as God's creation. The Lord is the genuine proprietor and enjoyer of everything manifested in his creation. Unfortunately, influenced by deluding energy, the living being becomes a false enjoyer under the dictation of the modes of nature. Puffed up by such a false sense of becoming God, the deluded living being increases his material strength so by many activities and thus becomes the burden of the earth. So much so that the earth becomes completely uninhabitable by the same. This state of affairs is called dharmasya glani. तो तो ये हम भगवद गीता में भी पढ़ते हैं कि यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत. And whenever there is such a glani of the dharma, then the Lord comes and he re-established ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अभ्युत्थानम धर्मस्य तदात्मानं सजाम्यहम् परित्राणाय साधुना विनाशाय च दुष्कृतम् धर्म संस्थापना. धर्म की जो दोबारा से स्थापना करने के लिए भगवान आते हैं. स्थापनाय संभवामि युगे युगे. एंड जैसे ऊपर भी आया कि भगवान ने कुछ नहीं किया. सो ही because the whole of the earth planet was so much suffering because of the unrighteous king, to say so, Dhritarashtra and his and the Kauravas. So then it was by the will of the Lord that they fought, and the righteous unrighteous kings were killed, and Yudhishthir Maharaj was rightly established. So Giriraj who is here. Hare Krishna Prabhu. You are on mute.
I'm saying, you go ahead, keep on reading.
Okay, Prabhuji. This state of affairs is called dharmasya glani, or misuse of the energy of the human being. When such misuse of human energy is prominent, the saner living beings becomes perturbed by the awkward situation created by the vicious administrators who are simply burdens of the earth. And the Lord appears by his internal potency just to save the saner section of the humanity and to alleviate the burden due to the earthly administrators in different parts of the world. He does not favor either of the unwanted administrators, but by his potential power, he creates hostility between such unwanted administrators as the air creates fire in the forest by the friction of bamboos. The fire in the forest takes place automatically by the force of the air. And similarly, the hostility between different groups of politicians takes place by the unseen design of the Lord. The unwanted administrators, puffed up by the false power and military strength, thus become engaged in fighting amongst themselves over ideological conflicts, and so exhaust themselves of all powers. The history of the world reflects this factual will of the Lord, and it will continue to be enacted until the living beings are attached to the service of the Lord. In the Bhagavad Gita 7.14, this fact is very vividly described. It is said, the deluding energy is my potency, and thus it is not possible for the dependent living beings to supersede the strength of the material modes. But those who take shelter in me, the personality of Godhead Shri Krishna, can cross over the gigantic ocean of material energy. This means that no one can establish peace and prosperity in the world by fruitive activities or by speculative philosophy or ideology. The only way is to surrender unto the Supreme Lord and thus become free from the illusion of the deluding energy. So now,
Hare Krishna. So ये जो श्लोक है, so it brings a twist because अभी तक हम लोग जो पढ़ते आए हैं, जो कल या परसों के श्लोक पढ़े होंगे कि वो भगवान की माधुर्य लीला की मोस्टली चर्चा हो रही है, और हम देखते हैं कि नाउ सडनली आउट ऑफ नोवेयर दिस श्लोका कम्स एंड from the queens of Dwarka, from the Dwarka Vasis, and then suddenly this shloka come and we come into the war of Kurukshetra. So हमेशा याद रखिए कि जब भी ये 1 second है, okay, so जब भी you will see in Goswami's literature that you will also find there is there'll be a twist and a different rasa will come. Because we should always remember of whom are we talking. We should always remember whom are we talking, that we should not take him too much casual. Oh, I am his friend, or he's like this, and then mind is mind and it starts imagining things. So we should always remember. And this is also one of the ways, all Goswami literature is like this. Your CC also like this. You have some deep, esoteric topics, and suddenly you will see it for different one. It comes. So to understand that, we must understand where is that, and we should always understand the tattva properly. You see Prabhupada classes also, whether it's Radha Ashtami, Janmashtami, he will start with a philosophy. All senior devotees, sannyasis, even if on some, day, so they will speak about philosophy first and then talk of pastimes. So यहाँ पर जो सारा हम पढ़ रहे हैं, तो अब ये कुरुक्षेत्र वार का ट्विस्ट आ गया कि how Krishna not only does all those things which are interesting, but he also does things which are not interesting for our benefit, like that. Okay, कहाँ पर हैं प्रभु हम? Just take that cue, so I'll read.
We are completed with this purpose. Okay.
पूरा पढ़ लिया हमने?
नहीं पढ़ लिया? नहीं, ये लास्ट पैराग्राफ कहते हैं.
Last paragraph. ठीक है प्रभु जी, I'll read. No problem. Unfortunately, persons who are engaged in destructive work are unable to surrender to the personality of Godhead. They are all fools of the first order. They are the lowest of the human species of life. They are robbed of their knowledge, although apparently they seem to be academically educated. कौन सा श्लोक है? कौन बताएगा ये? What is the shloka? Tell, from Bhagavad Gita. You remain quiet. Okay. Okay, और बताइए कोई, कौन सा श्लोक है भगवद गीता का? Which is the shloka, famous shloka from Bhagavad Gita? To understand, जो आज प्रीतिवर्धन महाराज की क्लास थी, महाराज was saying कि from where Prabhupada teachings are coming. So, who will tell? Nobody? Okay, Ronnie Prabhu, go ahead. Yes, Vrindavan Prandar Prabhu, go ahead.
3.27.
Huh?
3.27 karta hamiti manyate.
No. This is verbatim the shloka. It is not 3.27. Okay, go ahead. Yes. Ronnie Prabhu, go ahead.
Prabhu, namam dushpritina mura prapadyam naradhama maya prita jnana asarim bhavam ashrita.
Like this is the shloka. So this is because when we speak and when we see the acharya ke shabd kahan se aa rahe hain, so you can see ये हम पहले बीच में हेरिटेज में पढ़ते भी थे हमारी क्लासेस में, हम इस तरह से पढ़ते थे, ये श्लोक कहाँ से आ रहा है, ये श्लोक कहाँ. So you'll find sometime the whole purport is just one shloka after another. So this is the position of acharya, because whatever comes from their mouth is the shastra, and what is written in the shastra is about such pure devotees. So there is no different. इसलिए प्रभुपाद बोलते हैं book Bhagavad and Bhakt Bhagavad, no difference. Because so we can see here उनका आचरण भी है, और दूसरा हम देख सकते हैं उनके मुख से भी जो निकल रहा है, वो सारा का सारा क्या है, इज ऑल शास्त्र. इसीलिए देखते हैं कि हम प्रभुपाद के मॉर्निंग वॉक्स पढ़ते हैं, हम लोग डेली कोट्स भेजते हैं, कितने प्रभुपाद के मॉर्निंग वॉक्स में से आते हैं, लेटर्स में से आते हैं, है ना. आप सोच सकते हैं हम किस तरह की चिट्ठियां लिखते हैं, हम किस तरह की ईमेल लिखते हैं. इवन विद डिवोटीज व्हाट वी राइट, कैन समबडी राइट and say, oh, this is all written by Ronnie Prabhu, Vrindavan Prandar Prabhu, after 10 years, oh, he wrote this email to me, Prabhuji, dekhiye, kya badhiya hai na? It may not be like this. But you see, his letters and everything is just Shastra. Like that. So, आगे प्रभुपाद थोड़ा सा और गुणगान कर रहे हैं ऐसे लोगों का. They are all demoniac mentality, always challenging the supreme power of the Lord. Those who are very materialistic, always hankering after material power and strength, are undoubtedly fools of the first order, because they have no information of the living energy. And being ignorant of the supreme spiritual science, they are absorbed in material science, which ends with the end of the material body. So there is nothing wrong with the material science. The problem is, if that becomes our goal, then then whatever we've gone, we have wasted the human birth, because जो भी हमने किया, जो भी हमने knowledge gain की, सब कुछ किया, because it was all material. So spiritually, we don't gain anything. So it ends in a big zero. All those phones, all those gadgets, everything we have, or we aspire for, as devotees also, we see that we have that inclination, because we are surrounded in that, environment. But always remember, the end will be, it ends with the material body, nothing else. At the best, it will be distraction, and at the worst, it will take us somewhere else. They are the lowest of human beings, because the human life is especially meant for re-establishing the lost relationship with the Lord, and they miss the opportunity being engaged in material activities. Yes. So we discuss so like this. So the opportunity is missed. Nothing wrong if you miss. आप एक यूनिट टेस्ट को छोड़ के पिक्चर देख ली नेटफ्लिक्स के ऊपर, और यूनिट टेस्ट चला गया, और वो एनुअल एग्जाम चला गया, ऐसे कैसे, है ना? इंस्टेड ऑफ थिंकिंग वो एनुअल एग्जाम है, कोई बात नहीं, just chill and open something on the Facebook or the Netflix or something, and then जैसे ही वो खत्म हुई, देखा ओ ये तो annual exam is over, I was just absorbed here only, like this. So this is a material example, but we can relate to it. They are robbed of their knowledge, because even after prolonged speculation, they cannot reach to the stage of knowing the personality of Godhead, the summum bonum of everything. And all of them are men of demoniac principle, and they suffer the consequences, as did such materialistic heroes such as Ravan, Hiranyakashipu, Kansa, and others. So the end hai iska, so end will be like this, without any meaning for their life, and whatever they try to achieve. और इन heroes के नाम इसलिए लिखे हैं, इनको प्रॉपर heroes भी इसलिए कह रहे हैं क्योंकि they were heroes for their followers. They thought they are very nice. The Ravan also thought कि let me build a staircase, मैं सीढ़ी बना देता हूँ यहाँ से स्वर्ग तक. पुण्य क्यों कमाना है ना? अगर वहां जाके भोगना है तो उसके लिए पुण्य कमाने की क्या जरूरत है? मैं बोला मैं यहाँ से सीढ़ी लगाता हूँ, जिसको जाना है ऊपर जाए, टॉप फ्लोर पे जाए, एंजॉय करके वापस आ जाए मेरे पास. Like this, I understand. Same for Hiranyakashipu, same for Kansa. They just want to control the material energy. Or this is what scientists do, and this is what people applaud. Like that. But because there is no spiritual progress, shram eva hi kevalam. It has no real benefit. We lost the annual exam watching some videos on Facebook, like this. और इस श्लोक के अंदर ये भी लिखा है कि the Lord was pacified after killing those kings who were burdensome to the earth. They were puffed up with their military strength, their horses, elephants, chariots, infantry, etc. He himself was not party in the fight. He simply created hostility between the powerful administrators, and they fought among themselves. He was like the wind which causes friction between bamboos and so sparks a fire. So which means कि उनको स्वयं, he doesn't need to kill, neither he enjoys killing. Like that. But what is happening? So he just creates a situation. Okay, इनको भी इकट्ठा करो, करोड़ों इधर से आ गए, करोड़ इधर से आ गए, इनको आपस में लड़ा दो, सब मर गए. Matter ends. But the difference here is because they died in the presence of the Krishna, so they all got mukti. So सिर्फ लड़ाने का या मरवाने का काम नहीं. So one is because whatever God does, outcome is positive. Because he's absolute, every outcome is positive. So कोई सोच सकते हैं. So but कोई कह सकते हैं हम भी लड़ा सकते हैं. हमने भी 2 countries को, यूक्रेन को और रशिया को लड़ा दिया. Somebody can claim, we facilitated that. NATO can say we facilitated it. But question is that yes, you facilitated. People are dying also. But question is there is no spiritual benefit. But when Krishna made people fight, so he did 2 things. One, जो powerful administrators थे or the kings थे who were not good, or those whom he wanted to leave, so they all left without him having to do anything. And secondly, all of them, they got spiritual upliftment, like this. Okay, so those who want to read can raise their hand. Could you go to next sloka? Saisha narloke asmin अवतारिणा स्वमायया रेमे स्त्री रत्न कुटास्थो भगवान प्राकृतो यथा. Translation: That supreme personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, out of his causeless mercy, appeared on this planet by his internal potency, enjoyed himself among competent women as if he was engaging in mundane affairs. तो ये बताइए कौन सा श्लोक है भगवद गीता का कि that supreme personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, out of his causeless mercy, appears on this planet by his internal potency. Which is the shloka? Who will tell? भगवद गीता का कौन सा श्लोक है जिसमें भगवान बोलते हैं हाँ, आत्म माया. ये भी हिंट दे. भगवान बोलते हैं आत्म माया. You can search which is the shloka. So ये जितना पढ़ेंगे हम इसके इस तरह से पढ़ने से ये फायदा होता है कि ये एडमिन ने लिखा है 4.6. यस, रॉनी प्रभु. अच्छा, रॉनी प्रभु एडमिन है. सो जब हम इस तरह से पढ़ते हैं, इस तरह के पढ़ने का भी एक फायदा होता है क्योंकि आपकी श्रद्धा भागवतम में भगवद गीता में बढ़ती चली जाती है. बिकॉज यू सी दे आर बोथ सेइंग द सेम थिंग. Just Bhagavatam is expanding more. It is a more detailed. What Krishna has spoken in one verse, here probably it will be explained in 100 verses like this. Because the ratio is 700 is to 18,000 like that. So, okay. So, तो ये जो श्लोक जो हम आपको बहुत सारे श्लोक आप पाएंगे कि आप भगवद गीता के पढ़ेंगे और भागवतम से आप बहुत सारा रिलेट कर सकते हैं. हाँ, तो ये जो प्रभु जी ने लिखा है 4.6, अजो अपि सन्न अव्यात्मा भूतानाम ईश्वरो अपि सान प्राकृतिम समधिष्ठया स्वम भवामि आत्म माया. तो उसमें भी यही प्रसंग, मतलब उसका भी यही बोलते हैं भगवान कि आई एम अव्यय, कि देयर इज नो डिटेरियोरेशन. अजा मीन्स आई एम अनबॉर्न. और भूतानाम ईश्वरो अपि सन प्राकृतिम स्वम अधिष्ठया संभवामि आत्म माया. तो his birth is not material birth. He is not forced to take a birth. Why he speaks that verse? Because he doesn't take birth as we take birth, because we are forced to take birth. जब उनसे पूछते हैं कि ये मैंने विवस्वान को दिया, विवस्वान तो इतने साल पहले थे, तो आपके तो इतने बर्थ हो चुके, you know, how is it possible? So then Krishna says, you had many births, many births apart. You don't remember, but I remember. So this is the difference between Bhagavan and any jeev. Anything which Prabhupada बताते हैं कि anybody whose body changes, then memory is erased. Reset का जो बटन है वो दब जाता है. और प्रभुपाद इस तरह से समझाते हैं कि क्यों भगवान याद रखते हैं, क्यों उनको हर एक जन्म याद है, क्योंकि उनका शरीर चेंज नहीं होता है. Nothing is getting changed because there is no difference between him and his soul. It is the same. But any jiva, even a pure devotee, when he takes birth, he forgets. Rup Goswami takes birth, forgets. Bhaktivinoda Thakur takes birth, but they never forget Krishna. नित्य सिद्ध और नित्य बद्ध में ये फर्क है. They may forget who they were, but they always remember Krishna. That qualification they always fulfill. They always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. That applies to them. Rup Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Prabhupada, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. हम पढ़ते हैं, प्रभुपाद लेटर्स में लिखते हैं अपने कि I think Tamal Krishna Maharaj asked about his past life, and Prabhupada wrote, and he said, but I never committed any sin, and I don't remember any time where I forgetful of Krishna. हम ऐसा नहीं कह सकते हैं, है ना. सो ये जो है आचार्य हैं, जो नित्य सिद्ध जो आत्माएं आती हैं, so they may forget. So Arjun may forget, I am participating in this Leela every millennium, like that, but he loves Krishna always, like that. From birth he will love Krishna like that. So इसीलिए ये जो श्लोक भी हम पढ़ रहे हैं, आत्मा माया, भगवान अपनी इंटरनल अपनी मर्जी से आते हैं. Nobody can force him. टाइम हो गया, उठो, 4:30 हो गया, कलयुग के आने का टाइम हो गया, उठिए, ऐसा नहीं. And he comes. That is why in different kalpa we hear different stories. He does it different times, in different times. Some this happens, some kalpa something else happen. He doesn't do like a factory worker. He's not a factory worker. Oh, I have to do this. 9:30 बजे ऑफिस खुलेगा, 5:30 बजे दुकान बंद करनी है, बीच में 2 बजे लंच आवर है आधे घंटे का. Not like this. He's free to do everything himself. Purport. The Lord married and lived like a householder. So he was not a householder. He lived like a householder to fulfill the desires of his devotees. This is certainly like a mundane affair. But when we learn that he married 16,108 wives and lived with them separately in each and every palace. अब देखिए उन्होंने lived in them separately. Italics में लिखा हुआ है. To understand कि एक महल में सारे के सारे नहीं घुसा दिए, बल्कि he lived with them individually, separately with each one of them. Certainly it is not mundane. So one person can put many queens in one mahal, but you can't be individually living with them. That is not possible. Therefore, the Lord living as a householder amongst his competent wives is never mundane, and his behavior with them is never to be understood as mundane sex relation. The women who became the wives of the Lord are certainly not ordinary women, because to get the Lord as one's husband is the result of many, many millions of births of tapasya, austerity. Punha punya krinja. क्या बोलते हैं proper? 10th canto में उस शब्द आता है that one has millions of lives we have, हमने अर्जित किया है पुण्य. Then you take, and punya doesn't mean that punya doesn't mean in the sense of we understand punya. Punya means any of the 64 angas of bhakti. That we have done for millions of years, and then you come into you take birth in a planet where Krishna's pastimes are going on. When the Lord appears on different lokas or planets, or on this planet of human beings, his display is transcendental pastime. He displays his transcendental pastimes just to attract the conditioned souls to become his eternal servitors, friends, parents, and lovers, respectively, in the transcendental world, where the Lord eternally reciprocates such exchanges of service. परित्राणाय साधुनाम विनाशाय च दुष्कृताम. और इनमें से भी जो परित्राणाय साधुनाम है, that is the primary one. To killing of the demons is a secondary task. Service is perverted, and Bhagwan आते हैं ताकि people get attracted towards his leelas, pastimes, or they read about him. Actually, less get attracted like this, but more and more get attracted by reading. Simply by reading, they feel attracted. Service is pervertedly represented in the material world and broken untimely, resulting in sad experience, which means, kids are serving the parents, parents are serving the kids, husband is serving the wife, wife is serving the husband, boss or employer, that relationship will end. The illusioned living being, conditioned by material nature, cannot understand out of ignorance that all our relations here in the mundane world are temporary and full of inabilities. Such relations cannot help us be happy perpetually. But if the same relationship is established with the Lord, then we are transferred to the transcendental world after leaving this material body and become eternally related with him in the relation we desire. तो शांत रस, दास्य, वात्सल्य, साख्य, माधुर्य, किसी भी रस के साथ हम भगवान के साथ अपना संबंध बना सकते हैं, और भगवान he will reciprocate with us in that manner. The women among whom he lived as their husband are not, therefore, women of this mundane world, but are eternally related with him as transcendental wives, a position which they attained by perfection of devotional service. So when our devotional service is complete, when it is 100% done, then one takes a birth in a planet where Krishna's pastimes are going on, and then we get final training before we go back to Golok Vrindavan in the spiritual world. The woman amongst whom the Lord is Param Brahma, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Conditioned souls seek after their conditioned souls seek after perpetual happiness in all places, not only on the earth, but also on the planets throughout the universe. Because constitutionally, a spiritual spark, as he is, can travel to any part of God's creation. But being conditioned by the material modes, he tries to travel in space by spacecraft and so fails to reach his destination. The law of gravitation is binding upon him like the shackles of a prisoner. By other processes, he can reach anywhere, but even if he reaches the highest planet, he cannot attain that perpetual happiness for which he is searching life after life. So because we are also Satchidanand, we are also hankering for that part which satisfy our souls, but it never. और बल्कि यहाँ हम देखते हैं जो यहाँ भी जाते हैं, है ना, those who go to Mount Everest, they don't stay there. Oh, this is the best place, highest place. है ना? They have to come down. And we heard recently somebody went to find the Titanic. Also, you know, that whole contraption they went in imploded. है ना? So that thing is there within heart, you know. But what it is, what will satisfy, so that we don't know, unfortunately. So for that we are willing to take such high risk. और प्रॉपर ले रहे हैं कि उस दूसरे प्लेनेट से भी जाते हैं, उसके लिए भी वो स्पेसक्राफ्ट लेके जाते हैं, बट वी डोंट नो द योगिक वे कि उससे आसानी से जा सकते हैं. और जब ये आर्टिफिशियल मीन से जाते हैं, देन वी आर लाइक ए, जैसे वो बैल के पास या डॉग के जंजीर बांध देते हैं, तो यू कैनॉट गो मोर देन दिस और यू टू कम बैक लाइक दैट. कहाँ थे प्रभु जी? But when he comes to his senses, however, he seeks after Brahman happiness, knowing it for certain that unlimited happiness, which he is seeking, is never attainable in the material world. As such, the Supreme Being, Param Brahma, certainly does not seek his happiness anywhere in the material world, nor can his paraphernalia of happiness be found in the material world. Because we are a spirit soul, we are a spirit spark, so our home is also in the spiritual world, and the happiness also will get in the spiritual things, will not get happiness in the material things. In the material things, just the inclination to get something gives us happiness. When we get the thing, we don't feel, very soon that happiness goes away. But to get something, that gives us happiness in the material world. But it is not the case in the spiritual world. He is not impersonal because he is the leader and supreme being amongst innumerable living beings. He cannot be impersonal. He is exactly like us. And he has all the propensities of an individual living being in fullness. He marries exactly like us, but his marriage is neither mundane nor limited by our experience in the conditioned state. His wives, therefore, appear like mundane women, but factually, they are all transcendental, liberated souls, perfect manifestation of his internal energy, who understand their position that we are Krishna's Nitya Das. So, Dasi ke roop mein, they all try to serve. So, otherwise, they are not simple, ordinary living beings. So, जो इस तरह से भगवान के साथ जो पूरा रास्ते जाते हैं, जो उनके हस्बैंड के रूप में आते हैं, so they are not ordinary living beings, बल्कि जिसे ब्रह्म संहिता में लिखा है, लक्ष्मी सहर्ष सत संभ्रम सेव्यमानम, कि लाखों लाखों करोड़ों जो लक्ष्मियां हैं वो उनकी सेवा करती हैं, like that. So we can understand these are not, when we read, so that is why acharyas, tikas are so important to understand, so that we don't go in that flow of Madhurya Rasa also. So we see Prabhupada always brings philosophy, so we understand to whom we are dealing, like that. So this is the unique and wide personality of Lord Shri Krishna. और यहाँ अच्छा, okay, so this is today's 2 verses. So thank you so much for joining. If anybody has any comment or question, we can take. Otherwise, we'll end the class. Already I took more minutes today. I'm sorry. Thank you. So we'll end now. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubheva cha patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari. Oh, today Sachin Khanna Prabhu is also there. I'm seeing him all long time. How are you, Prabhu? All right? Thank you for giving us your association.
Krishna, Dana Pranam, dear Guru.
None of problems. None of problems.
Thank you for divine lecture.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.